Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to the 7 a.m. part of yoga today. And so just a reminder for our Thursdays that our yoga classes are going to be a little slower since we are near the end of the week. So allow yourself to take the time to take in everything that we are either working towards or accomplishing, or taking the time to notice your breath as we are exploring some of these asanas today. And so, specifically for today's class, I wanted to gear the energy for what we're going to be working with into an anti-anxiety yoga flow today. So just allowing yourself to not only move gently and being able to take in those mental and physical body scans as we go through some of our asanas today, but allowing yourself to breathe and making sure that we allow ourselves to breathe nice, slow, and deep, whatever feels comfortable and not anxiety to you. And just allowing yourself to visit any shape or form that serves you. If it doesn't, you're always able to go ahead and modify that for yourself, or allow yourself to just take things a little easy today. So for the start of our practice, we're going to go ahead and come onto our hands and knees here, having your feet nice and flat. And taking our arms to the front of the mat, coming to a child's pose, stretching out your spine. Having your fingertips reach towards the front of the mat as you are bringing your tailbone towards the back. Allowing yourself to feel and experience the opening of your spine. Focusing the energy of the tailbone towards the back of the room, into the ground. And then the top of your spine towards the front of the room and the ground as well. Almost like there's a bowling ball underneath our stomach here. Taking deep inhalations into the nose, out of the nose, allowing your belly as well as the sides of your ribcage to fully expand as we take it inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Good, and as we explore the sense of grounding here today, just allowing yourself to explore either your inner child or your inner self. And inviting them to our practice, inviting them to take it easy, breezy, and making sure that we breathe here today. You want a little bit of set intention for your practice? And with your hands, you can just widen them maybe about shoulder length apart.
pressing your hands into the floor. And we're not going to necessarily lift our whole body up, but we're going to keep our head rooted towards the ground. And we're just going to bring our shoulders towards the ceiling here. So there's not a whole lot of movement, but from here we're finding an expansion of our shoulders, our spine towards the ceiling. This allowing us to essentially stretch into the thoracic spine. Got about 3 more breaths. Yeah. Then as we keep our right hand forward, we're just gonna go ahead and inhale, bring the left arm towards the ceiling. Couple breaths in this little child's pose twist. Good, and then as we exhale, you're more than welcome to guide your hand, threading that needle towards the right side of the room, and then taking your eye gaze forward where your right hand is, and allowing yourself to fold here in the child's pose. And if it feels more comfortable, you can take your knees apart with your tailbone back. Taking 3 breaths. And after the 3 breaths, you're welcome to take that left arm back up towards the ceiling. Then we're going to go ahead and take the left hand behind your back, as if you're trying to grab onto your right thigh. Allow yourself to go into a deeper twist. If it feels better, you can just place your forearm onto the mat instead. 3 breaths. After the 3 breaths, you can very slowly unwind and place the left hand onto the mat. Good. And then straightening out the arms. And so, with these 3 breaths, they may seem slow. That's because we want to allow ourselves to breathe in nice and deep as we inhale, and the same speed as we exhale. So go ahead and take your time this morning. So to work on the next side, let's go ahead, flat left palm, and we're going to inhale, rise, bring the right arm towards the ceiling for a few breaths here. And then you can go ahead and essentially thread the needle while taking your eye gaze towards the front of the mat. And stretching your left arm nice and long. Taking it for 3 breaths. You can go ahead, forearm to the mat, left forearm, and inhale, rise, left arm, right arm towards the ceiling. Then you go ahead and rotate that right hand back, guiding the right puck up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. After 3 breaths, inhale, rise. Bring the right arm back to the left side. And then from here, extending your arms forward and slightly elevating your chest here. Or inhale, bringing your chest forward like you would, cow spine, eye gaze up. Pressing the palms down, exhale, rounded spine, chin to chest. Stay there for 3 breaths. And 3 breaths, you can inhale, come back into that cow spine. And you go ahead and circle walk your hands over to the right side of the room for side body stretch. breaths. Good. Go ahead and walk your hands back to the center, to the opposite side, left side. 3 breaths. Good. And then walk back to the center here. Let's go ahead and bring your tailbone up. Good. Keeping your forearms to the mat here. You're gonna go ahead and lift up your feet and rotate your ankles here. As we rotate our ankles and go the opposite way, you can then go ahead and extend our left leg back to stretch the hamstring. Good, so keeping your spine nice and straight, rooting through the left heel towards the back of the room. 3 breaths. Good. And then we're going to go on the right side, stretch up the hamstring. 3 breaths. And then as we're here, making sure that we are bringing our chest inwards towards our shoulders so that we're not collapsing. Nice. Spread your fingers apart, press your palms into the mat, engage the core, and come into a forearm plank. Shoulders are above the elbows here. Good. And then as we slowly start to bend through the knees, bring your tailbone up towards the sky, chest through the elbows here. You can take your time coming into a dolphin plank. Nothing too extreme right away. Just bringing your tailbone up. We don't necessarily want to completely hollow out the spine here, like having an overarch. You just want to find that extension and lift up the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So you press your forearms into the mat and send your chest forward. Good, so that we can find stability in the spine as we're working and opening up through the shoulders. So a little bit of chest engagement will help keep us balanced here. Bring your tailbone up towards the ceiling, chest towards the feet. You can do 3 more breaths here. After the 3 breaths, very slowly bring your knees to the ground. Keeping your tailbone up with your hips right above the knees, and start to send your chest towards the ground into extended puppy pose. So if you have blocks, you're more than welcome to use them underneath your arms if you're looking to open up more here. And just keeping the tailbone up towards the sky, stretching out through the spine. Chest is down, pressing the hands in. Three more breaths. And after the 3 breaths, with inhale, shift and come forward into that forearm plank, but we're just going to shift forward and bring our pelvic to the ground. And rising up to the chest into Sphinx pose, pressing your hands into the mat, shoulders away. Getting into the middle of the thoracic spine here. And then we're going to keep that concentration, engage the back core, and just slowly slide the hands underneath the shoulders, keeping the shoulders away. And from here, inhale, rise with the chest, make the effort with the chest, and then straighten the arms, pressing the feet to the ground, upward facing dog. So it's better to come from an upward facing dog. If you're in a chaturanga, it's easier on your shoulders. So if you come from an upward facing dog, from a cobra, it is easy to engage through the quads and assist your pelvic to the ground and rise up with the motion of the chest and with your lower spine to then press your hands into the ground from that cobra. And you can slowly rise, bringing the hips up towards the sky to downward facing dog. It's just a less work on your shoulders. You go through the movement. And you go ahead and pedal out one leg at a time. Good, tailbone up towards the sky, just through the shoulders, and even if your shoulders are feeling tight today, you can create more space between the shoulders, or if it's your hips, create more space between your feet. And all about space today. Good. And then we're just going to go ahead, bend the knees generously. And then I gaze forward, and we're just going to very slowly walk our way to the front of the mat here. And as we meet the front of the mat, let's go ahead and create just a little extra space in between our feet. Good. And pressing your hands into the shins, extending the tailbone back and the chest towards the front of the room. Straight spine here. As we find the straight spine, you can very subtly start to bend through the knees, but as we bend through the knees, we still want to extend that tailbone towards the back of the room, and very slowly start to mold into a forward fold, almost like you're sandwiching your thighs on your stomach. Good. Just want to kind of find some more spinal extension, roll through the spine, inhale, halfway lift. Slowly bend through the knees, roll your spine, forward fold. Inhale very slowly, rise back up, halfway lift, bend through the knees, slowly roll, forward fold, good. And then inhale, straight through the legs, back spine, slowly bend through the knees, mold onto the feet, onto the thighs. You go ahead and do this about 3 more times. So if you are ever feeling very anxious or very worked up and you just need to find some sort of movement that kind of brings more control to your body, just doing very soft and subtle movements such as coming in from a half lift and allowing yourself to gently come down in your forward fold allows you to reconnect with your body and reconnect with grounding and just overall allowing you to calm your nervous system so that you can bring the awareness back into the room and back into your body. And so let's go ahead and bend the knees generously while keeping our chest up, hands onto the thighs here, so very supported chair here. Tailbone is back. We don't want to find that overarching to the lower spine. So sending your stomach inward at the same time we're finding this lift through our chest, curving it forward and up. So hands onto the thighs or onto the shins. Close up your chest, rotate your shoulders back, and then inhale, slowly rise. Arms up towards the ceiling. So if it's easier, you can always put your feet together instead of apart. And then from here, press your feet into the ground and inhale, rise. Arms up towards the ceiling, back bend. And then palms together. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, bend through the knees. Bring the table back into the chair. And then lift through the heart and twist over to the right side into chair twist. And you're more than welcome to open up your arms, open up your chest, maybe getting a little deeper here. Good. palms are together, bring it into the heart center, and then you go ahead and take that left leg, shoot it back into the lunge twist. As we get set up for the lunge twist, if you wanted to open up your arms one more time, you're more than welcome to do so, sending the left heel towards the back of the room. Very slowly bring your palms together towards the front of the room and rise into a high lunge here. Good. Adjust your feet accordingly. Adjust your space if you need to. Good. Let's go ahead and set our left foot at the warrior diagonal and coming into your warrior two here. And as we stay strong into the stance, flatten through the stomach or through the lower spine, lifting it up about 2 inches, shoulders away from the ears. Let's flip the right palm and reverse the warrior, keeping our right knee towards the front of the room. 3 breaths. And then inhale, rise, warrior two. You can either take your right forearm onto the thigh, or you can take the right hand and toward the right foot and bring your left arm towards the ceiling. Side angle. You can stay here, or you can pendulum swing that left arm down to the front of the room, opening up through the chest, pressing the right bicep, or I should say tricep, or into the knee here, opening up more towards the left side of the room. Okay. And very slowly pendulum swing that left arm down, and then walk yourself into a wide-legged forward fold. Okay. So as we're doing the wide-legged forward fold, let's find that sense of control again. So hands to the ground, round through the spine, inhale, half lift. And then round through the spine as we exhale, forward fold. Inhale, round all the way up to a straight spine, halfway lift. Then exhale, round down, forward fold. You can go ahead and do about 3 to 5 more. As you fold down, engaging through the quads, bring your tailbone back to open up your hamstrings. And let's go ahead up to 3 to 5. Let's go ahead and bring the tailbone back, straight up through the spine, and sending your arms forward, almost like it's a wide-legged downward facing dog. Good. So pressing your hands here into the mat, or if you have blocks with you, you can press your hands into the block, tailbone towards the back of the room and towards the ceiling, just towards the ground. 3 more breaths. And then as we slowly, after the 3 breaths, taking our hands to the mat underneath us and almost as if we're trying to bring our hands behind our feet. Our fingers can be pointed towards the back of the room. And we can press our hands here into the mat as we look up at the tailbone and allowing yourself to get your chest more towards the ground. And you may feel this more into the inside of your thighs as we come into this hip hinge. Good. And so as you guide yourself into a deeper forward fold, instead of bending the arms, you can then straighten them behind you. So it's like the opposite. Instead of extending and straightening our arms to the front, we're going to do it by extending it towards the back of the room. Okay. And you're going to hold it here for 5 breaths. for the 5 breaths we have here. And you can very slowly start to place your hands back underneath and find that inhale half lift. And we're gonna go ahead, walk my hands over to the right foot and come into a side bend. 3 breaths. And then walk over, inhale to the left foot for 3 breaths. And then if you go over back to the center, and then we're gonna walk over towards the right leg as we start to bend through the knee, ninja style. Bring the left toes and rotate the left knee up. And then inhale, rise, left arm towards the ceiling. Opening up through the heart. 3 breaths. And gently guide the left hand down. Ninja your way over to the opposite side. Rotate the right knee in, your toes up. Inhale, rise. Right arm towards the ceiling. 3 breaths. And I want to go ahead, release, and ninja your way. Opening up the hamstrings, back to the right side, and this time, as we inhale, rise, bring the left arm towards the ceiling. We're gonna go ahead and maybe take the right hand this time outside of the right thigh, and then take the left hand towards the right side of the room for side body stretch. Good. Engage the core, keep your concentration here. And then very slowly release the left hand. You go ahead and ninja your way over towards the left side. Left hand can be on the outside of the left leg. Rotate the knee up and inhale, rise. Right arm towards the ceiling. And then extend it on over to the left side of the room. And opening up your heart. 3 breaths. And then from here, we're going to rotate the right toes down and then come up into a lunge here with the left knee up front. Good. So you can go ahead, square through the hips. Good. Place the palms to the heart center. And we're going to inhale, rise through the chest and take the right elbow to the left thigh. Twisting over towards the left. And you can keep the palms together, or you can open up through the arms for 3 breaths. Bringing the hands together and then rising up into a high lunge. And then from the high lunge, dropping the right foot at a diagonal, coming into your warrior 2 stance. 3 breaths. Go ahead and adjust the space if you need to here. Keeping the front knee bent. Lifting it through the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Flip the left palm and reverse warrior. 3 breaths. And inhale, warrior 2. Side angle with either the forearm on the thigh or bringing it all the way to the ground. Either right arm towards the ceiling, or if you'd like, pendulum swinging it down to the front of the room. Through the right pinky toe, 3 breaths. Okay. And then from here, very gently, you go ahead and place the right hand down. Come into that running lunge here. And then in that running lunge, we're going to go ahead and send that left leg back. Downward facing dog, stretch up through the spine. 3 As we root through the heels, open up the hamstrings for one more time. I'm gonna go ahead and root the left heel up and inhale, rise right leg, three-legged dog. Bend the knee and open it up to the side. And if you wanted to, you can drop the right foot down, bring the left leg forward and come into wild thing. Lifting up your hips, bringing your right arm towards from the mat. Outer edge of the left foot as we engage the core, come into a side plank. So come into side plank, bend the left right knee, and send it to the front of the mat. Good. Coming into pigeon pose, we can take the right leg, place it underneath, right foot underneath the left wrist or behind it. Send the right knee behind the right wrist. Good. Straighten out through the left leg. And if you need to prop up, possibly placing a blanket underneath the right hip, go ahead and do so. We're going to take the right hand onto the right knee, right hand onto the left hand onto the right foot, and rotate that left knee down the left hip inward towards the mat. We're going to keep pressing the left foot into the mat and lifting up through the chest. 2 more breaths. And after these 2 breaths, you can go ahead and I'm going to come completely forward folded yet. Just take your hands forward and then walk them to the right corner of the mat. And then come into a fold. And do 5 breaths instead of 3. And for the 5 breaths, you can very slowly start to walk our way to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold. 5 breaths. So you can use a block or a pillow underneath your forehead to neutralize your spine. And your 5 breaths, and then continue to walk your hands over towards the left side of the room now. Coming into a forward fold. Wonderful. And go to the chest. And go ahead and come back to the center. Place the right hand onto the knee. Left hand onto the right foot once more. Shoulders away from the ears. Chest forward. 3 breaths. And then from here, you're just going to go ahead with through the hip and slide the right foot underneath. Then I'm going to take the left leg and bringing it forward here. So you can place the right foot to the side. Stretch, lengthening out through the spine, and we're not going to need a strap here. If you have a strap with you, awesome. But from here, we're just going to lift up, rise our arms approach the ceiling, engaging the quads. I'm going to exhale, forward fold here, either grabbing onto your foot or grabbing onto your leg. And just allowing your chest to make its way forward as we come into a forward fold here. Engaging the quality of the kneecap. Finding the movement more from the hip than from the spine as we hinge. I'm going to go ahead and grab onto the left toe with your left hand. And inhale, open up your right arm towards the right side of the room. One more breath. And very slowly, right hand to the left toe. Inhale, open up the left arm. Left side of the room. Lots of twistings and heart opening today to allow ourselves to remove any toxins from our spine. Exhale, bring the left hand forward, as well as allowing us to activate and open up our heart chakra so we can send love to all of those who need it today, including ourselves. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to slide the legs to the side here into deer pose. So we're going to take the right knee in alignment with our hip this time and take the right leg back. Good. And we're going to go ahead and send the left leg forward like you would in pigeon. And then we're just going to go ahead and twist over to the left side of the room. 3 breaths. And then take the eye gaze forward, hands to the mat. Let's go ahead, send the right leg back, straightening it, and then internally rotating the right hip in. So if you need your prop, placing the blanket or possibly a block underneath the left hip, you can go ahead and do so. But from here, left hand on the left knee, right hand on the left foot. Rotate that hip down, lift up through the heart, and sending your spine towards the ceiling at the same time towards the back of the room. 3 breaths. Good. And then we're just going to bring our hands down and walk our way to the left corner of the mat to start. Good. Finding a side bend as we forward fold here for 5 breaths. The 5 breaths. You can start to walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Good. Come into that forward fold. Staying here for 5 breaths. And 5 breaths. And continue to walk our way to the right corner of the mat. Moving to the forward fold for 5 breaths. Identify breaths. You walk yourself back into that neutral pigeon. Adjust through the spine, 3 breaths. Good. You're going to go ahead and curl the right toes, bring the left foot underneath, and slide the right leg forward. And so the left foot can show by the side too. And then again, we just want to make this a little more passive and easy on us, so you don't necessarily have to use the strap here. From here, we're going to straighten up through the spine, arms towards the ceiling. And then we're going to exhale, hip hinge, either grabbing onto the toes or grabbing onto the shins, finding that quad engagement, hugging the kneecap up, finding the bend more into the hip than through the spine alone. Whatever feels good for you for 3 breaths. Grabbing onto the right big toe with the right hand. Inhale, open up the left arm to the left side of the room. 3 breaths. Inhale, rise. Left arm to the big toe, and then inhale, open up your right arm. 3 breaths. And then inhale, bringing it back. And then we can release the hands. We're going to slide the left knee in alignment with the hip. We're bend that right leg into deer. And then from deer, we're going to go ahead and twist to the right side of the room, lifting up through the heart. 3 breaths. And then slowly come back to the front of the room. And then from here, just re-straighten up through the left leg, curl the toes. Good. And then we're going to go ahead, take the right leg back. We're through the right heel, inhale, rise, left leg up towards the ceiling. Good. We're going to bend the knee and then open up the hip crease. And take the left foot down, bring the right leg forward, move to wild thing, lifting up through the hips. Left arm towards the ceiling, our edge of the right foot, engage the core, inhale, side plank. 3 breaths. And then taking the left hand to the mat. Okay. You can go ahead and bring the forearms down as we bring the tailbone up. Coming into dolphin plank again. Having your hips up into the air. Engaging the back and walking the toes towards your chest. Dropping at the knees. Good. Child's pose. Good. Sliding your arms forward and coming onto your spine here. Getting close to the end of class, we can go ahead and keeping the knees bent, bringing The heels close to our glutes, hands either to the sides or above your head. You can go ahead, plant your feet down, engage through the core, and inhale, hike your hips up towards the ceiling, into your bridge pose. And you can go ahead and stay here for 5 breaths. If you wanted to, you can always assist your hips up towards the ceiling with your forearms and elbows to the ground to support you as we lift. After your 5 breaths, you can slowly start to make your hips to the ground, straightening out through the legs and taking a deep inhale, bringing your arms above overhead, and start to navigate the top body to the right side of the room as we keep the hips centered. And bring the legs as well to the right side, left leg on top of the right, grabbing onto the left wrist. Breathing deep for one more breath. Slowly unwind the legs. You go ahead and walk the legs to the center, upper body to the center, legs to the left, upper body to the left, grabbing onto the right wrist, right ankle on top of the left. And take your final breath here. And you go ahead and release the legs. And walk back to the mat. Release the arms, inhale. Bring your arms to the front of the mat, point your toes to the bottom. Take a deep belly breath, inhale in through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. And allowing your arms and your legs to rest wherever feels good this morning. Just taking these few moments to yourself here in Shavasana. Shavasana today. I picked a quote today's practice by Amy Gray from Nonviolence to Transforming Power. That if you are driven by fear, anger, or pride, then nature will force you to compete. And if you are guided by courage, awareness, and tranquility and peace, nature will serve you. So as we are lying on your backs, you're more than welcome to stay here for your Shavasana. Or if you would like to get going with your day, you can start to create micro movements from your toes, your ankles, your fingers, and your wrists. Allow yourself to reawaken for today's day. And you go ahead, taking a deep inhale, bringing your arms above your head, bending the knees into your chest, and then exhale through the mouth. You can guide your knees to the side of the room, top of your body to follow. And very softly finding yourself in a seated position. And then from here, you can go ahead and take your palms into the heart center and take a bow for yourself for making it to today's class, as well as giving a gratitude for our climbers for sharing this virtual space with us today. That we are so happy to see you now that the Brookfield Gym is open. We look forward to continue teaching you these classes and look forward to seeing all your faces at the gym. And namaste. Thank you everybody that attended the 7 a.m. class. And welcome to my new home. We just moved this week. It's been a little wild on this end, but thanks so much for coming to all of our fitness classes, and apologies for having my classes canceled for Tuesday. I hope that everybody is doing well on the other end, and that everybody is, doing what they can to keep themselves good during this time. I'll see you all later. Thanks for coming to class this morning. Bye.